So this is a trick of using your hands for working out your 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 times tables. Now most of you won't need it for your 10 times tables. However, I certainly find it really useful for things like 7 times 8 or 6 times 7. Let me demonstrate. First of all, what we can do is take a sheet of paper and we're going to draw round our hands. And what I want you to make sure you do is make sure that these two fingers here are touching. I will explain what my fingers are all about in a minute. So I've drawn around my fingers and now I'm going to number them just like my fingers are numbered at the moment. Now I've put stickers on the back of my fingers. If you want to do this, then by all means do it, perhaps with some paper and sellotape if you don't have any stickers. So we are going to start by learning 7 multiplied by 7. What's 7 multiplied by 7? Well, some of you possibly already know it's 49. And what we're going to do is demonstrate how that works. So, looking at my hands, if you take your 7 and your 7 fingers and you put them together, then you count the number of fingers that are touching and the number of fingers that are below. So you add together the number of fingers that are touching and the numbers of fingers are below. It doesn't matter what the numbers are on those fingers. What we're doing is counting 1, 2, 3, 4. The number of fingers that are touching and the number of fingers that are below. That is our tens. 4 tens is 40. So what I'm going to do is just highlight those fingers that are touching and those fingers that are below. 4 fingers equals 4 times 10, which equals 40. So the first number we have is 40. So I'm going to write this down here. 40. Then I'm going to add an addition symbol. Then what we do, we've got 40 and we've used those fingers already, but we've still got some fingers left over. Again, it doesn't matter what the number is on them. I've got 3 fingers on this side and I have 3 fingers on this side, and what we need to do is we need to multiply. We need to multiply these 3 fingers and these 3 fingers together. 3 multiplied by 3 equals 9. So let's demonstrate that as well. And let's draw this onto our diagram. So I have 3 fingers and 3 fingers. 3 multiplied by 3. So here we multiplied it by 10. We added the fingers on both hands and we multiplied by 10 to get to 40. These are our tens. 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. Here we count the fingers on one hand and then we multiply it by the fingers on the other hand, equal to 9. Then we come down to our original equation here. 7 times 7 is 40 plus the 9 that is just here. And that 40 plus 9 equals 49. Well, you might tell me that you already know that 7 times 7 is 49. Well, the one that I always struggle with is 7 times 8. So it doesn't matter which way round you do this. It could be the 7 on this hand, on your right hand, or it could be the 7 on your left hand, because multiplication is commutative. It means that we can have 7 multiplied by 8 or 8 multiplied by 7. It doesn't matter which way round you do it, the answer is still the same. So I take my 7 finger and, in fact, I'm going to turn this over So I have my 7 finger and I have my 8 finger and I put them together. And then what am I doing? Well, the first step is to count the fingers that are touching and all the fingers that are below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 fingers. That is my 50 because we start with 5 tens. 7 multiplied by 8 or 8 multiplied by 7 equals, we start with a 50. And then, so we've got our 50 here, and then what do we have? Well, we have 3 here and we have 2 here. So we take the 3 and we multiply it by the 2 fingers. We take the 3 fingers and we multiply it by the 2 fingers. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. So we put here 6 and then we get 56. What about 6 multiplied by 7? This is another one that I find really tricky. 6 multiplied by 7 or 7 multiplied by 6 equals, so 6 on one hand, 7 on the other. We're looking at counting the fingers that are touching and the finger that is underneath. How many fingers do I have? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 fingers here, so it's 30 that I write. So that's my 3 fingers, 6 and 7, 3 fingers, and then what have I got? Well, I've got 4 here and 3 here. What does 4 multiplied by 3 equal? Well, 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. And 30 plus 12 is 42. So 6 multiplied by 7 is 42. 7 multiplied by 6 is 42. And this trick works with all of these numbers. It can start with a 10, 9, 8, 7 or 6, and the second number can be a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you can do it for every single number. Remember when you're using a 10 though, that you're going to have 0 fingers above, so you will have 0 units, 0 ones. Okay, so 0 ones, if you had 10 tens for instance, you'd end up with 10 fingers underneath and you'd have 0 multiplied by 0, so there would be just the tens.